I don't know. Well, see, you gonna know, buddy, because for the next few years, you gonna get CDs, DVDs. We got them back for years, and they all uncover secrets. Now, here's something. The only entirely correct position is that a revolution or a revolutionary war is an offensive, but it involves defense and retreat. To defend in order to attack, to retreat in order to advance, to move against the flanks in order to move against the front, and to make a roundabout route in order to get on the direct route. This is inevitable in the process of development of many phenomena, especially military movements. Here's what we're saying. What you can recognize in Oakland, if you go back 10 years ago, Abdul-Malik leaves and they set a thing of destruction, you know, of everything they can. But we still build it up. Now, you come a few years ago, here come Mukhtar. He's going to come in and he's going to lie, he's going to challenge, and he's going to be talking. You can't not talk. I mean, what I mean is not talk. You don't have nothing to say because he's not going to be quiet. In other words, he don't want you to answer no questions. He's there to indict you and to keep talking. As soon as he has to take a breath, Khadijah gonna kick in. Okay, sometimes they come with just them two. They want to make you mad. Anyone that lets someone else choose when they fight, when they battle, is insane. You choose the battlefield or the battle space. You choose the time, you choose the place. Now, during this period we come out, we got you seen the CDs, strategic retreat. If they come in with us at guns, they want us to fight, to go get guns and to fight them. The government then failed, so they got to get rid of, actually, if they can get us to get rid of each other, they won. In fact, it's enough shooting from a distance, they'll have their snipers hitting us both, and all of us will be dead. They got to get rid of Mukhtar and Abdul Malik. They got to, because they're known to be, the stuff they did verifies that they're the police. They just verified it. Here I am in front of our building, and the police got me in the back of the car. I'm in the back of the car. He's saying you don't have no right to that building. That's 8006 MacArthur Boulevard. That's where the school is. Here's right here. They done arrested me at 8210 MacArthur Boulevard. Took me out there and beat on me. They say I was trespassing at Masjid al-Islam, that I have lived there since 1981. And everybody know it. Can Oakland police say they didn't know that? They can't. It's been too many activities with them, and they can't say they don't know. Why? Because Homeland Security, everything is tied in, and if they go to any court and say, we don't know who abdul-alim Musa is, could they say that today? We laugh them out of us. I hope they do go there and say that. Okay. They could do this. What is this? Oh, this is a poor van out there with flat tires. And you can see the guy walking from with a knife. So, what are you going to do? You're going to attack him? You're going to fight him? Not only that, after we fix this, these Negroes come back the next day with more shooting the dogs. It's hilarious. Okay, now, they set on one thing. We're going to eat Imam Jamil today. What does that mean? We're going to harass him to make him make a move. It didn't work. Why it didn't work? Because we've been sitting here strategizing on our own. We're planning this. We got you operating. You don't have us operating. So we say we're the only independent African-American movement left in the United States. We resisted the control of Arabs. And guess what the nigga do? Push the door in on one Friday with the cameras blazing, but he's in the front and the Arabs is in the back. White shoe wearing Arabs. You know, no religion, just white shoes. How could you get anything better than that? And it's all film. And what you didn't have film, what they didn't steal film, you got the little MP3, they could hear it all. But sometimes I'd have them on so long, we'd be 2-3 hours later, we've been outside talking and they talking, and it's all recorded. So I forgot the damn thing in my pocket. And it's 5 hours. The MP, it'll take 200 hours or something, you know. Right? Strategic retreat. Should I physically fight a fool? The Quran says if you see a fool, say salam. Right? Okay, now, look at them. The whole world looks at them, and what do the world say? The world say, man, I was talking today about movements. Here's what happened with movements. In every period of time, when Allah got it scheduled to happen, the proper institutions will develop. So there are Muslims and non-Muslims right now watching and listening. Right? And there's things that they want to know if this stuff is true. So how are they going to find out if it's true? There's Mukhtar. They're going to grab Mukhtar, take him off and put a little heat on him, and he's going to tell who he's with. And if they don't want to, I don't want Mukhtar. All they got to do is close their eyes and put their hand on anybody that's been around our crew. That's all. And they got it. Just like the federal government. Who is your boss? Who are you talking? Yeah? You know the little heat thing that they use, the little $2 torches. You put that on the niggas behind and on his private parts. Is he gonna tell? Of course he is. You have to stop him from talking. You have to say, okay, that's enough. I can't keep up. That's fine. Abdul-Alim is going to do the same thing. They already, can you imagine how stupid they are? And they happen to choose Big Hank. Nah, y'all from this coast, don't make me do this. But in California, when they talk about a certain period of history in Oakland, they talk about my administration. I was technically the mayor. That's what he said. And everybody in my administration was wealthy. Everybody. And guess what? The statistics will tell you, my administration and killings, none. The strongest organization in Oakland ever been there, and nobody even got beat up. In other words, we didn't even beat nobody up. You know how gangsters always, your ass money, and they beat you up, and they beat your mama up. The guy come after me, he was big, boy. He was beating up people's mamas, and damn, man. I say, it's just money, I mean. I said, look, if you got a guy and he's a customer, if he came to you 20 times, right? And then you give him an ounce or something, and he don't pay you back. He done came and bought 20 ounces from you. He done paid for himself 1,000 times. You don't have to beat him up. Just say, hey, man, you owe me. Say, from now on, you got to pay for everything. You ain't gonna hurt me? No, I ain't hurt you, man. You don't have to pay for everything. You owe me one, though. So just do him like I did Willie G. Willie G owed me money. So he wanted a half a pound or something. I just took 1 ounce and cut it all the way to make us sit there. He said, man, they called me Bunk Willie. I said, well, you wouldn't pay me my money. I ain't gonna go and fight nobody. He's a big gangster too, right? This is ridiculous. So I just took 1 ounce and made 8 out of it. They called me Bunk. I said, but now here's what we'll do. You pay for one, no, half a pound, quarter pound, or 2-3 ounces, and put it on that. And you got you a whole pound of good stuff. Yeah, man, but I had to pay. I said, yeah, you would have to pay me a little bit more, but it'd be good. Why kill people, right? Can you imagine a gangster organization, the best organization, and never even beat nobody up? They should give us a saintly award. Saint Clarence, Saint Hank. Tell the truth. Right? Saint Hank. It's true. Right? You ever heard of it happen? It don't happen. It don't happen. Saint Hank. This is, the saint, the deal dope. He give you good dope at a good price, and if you run off, he don't chase you. He just said, man, would you please, better got busted. A bird grabbed it and flew off. I said, yes, I believe that. I believe you. Or was it a hawk or an eagle or who flew off with the dope? Hey, they used to lie to me so much, I thought, I go back in the room and look in the mirror. I said, I must look like, I got to look like a damn fool. But they was using crank, and it makes you lie all the time. They could tell me, because I wouldn't hurt them. They said, Hank ain't gonna kill you. But they told them other niggas that, they blow them away. But anyway, let's get back to the point. If we've been correct about every other thing, now you have to remember what we've talked about. All these years. This looks like what's going to happen. When I was talking about soldiers, U.S. soldiers, Afghanistan, coming back with dope fiend habit, eventually they'll be big in the dope trade. Because pretty soon they're going to have one of them, hey man, I'm going to send you $200. Why don't you bring back a half a pound of heroin? So it's going to cost over that, maybe $500. And he's going to bring back a half a pound or a pound of pure heroin. And he's going to have to cut it. Let's give it a break. Just 10 times. He's going to have 1 pound, he's going to make 2 pounds, 10 pounds out of it. And he's going to sell each gram for, let's say, it's going to be good, for $50. Can you count that money? It'll take a long time to count up all that money. What is it going to do then? He still got a few friends in Afghanistan. Hey man, when is your next rotation? We're going to be back in 2 weeks. Let me wire you $1,000. You know why I'm $1,000? He's going to spend $1,000 in Afghanistan. He's going to make $1 million here in the U.S. After 3 or 4 trips, the Afghan soldiers veterans that have been maligned and abused by the government, they're going to be hooked up. Prohibition was like that. World War I soldiers, right? Da-da-da-da-da. Vietnam soldiers came back. By the 70s, a lot of them, they didn't leave slick, but by the time they got back in, a lot of Vietnam vets was selling dope. One told me, he didn't even know I was a dope dealer. He was on the plane. He said, man, he just got back, youngster. He said, I'm getting into dope and women. Then when we walked out of the airport where the cars was parked, he saw what I was getting in. He said, I was wondering what he was thinking. I should stop that nigga there. He got to be. Anyway, so I'm going to move toward a close because we didn't have to, I ain't got to say it. Strategic retreat. A strategic retreat is a planned strategic step taken by an inferior force for the purpose of conserving its strength and biding its time to defeat the enemy. When it finds itself confronted with a superior force whose offensive is unable to smash quickly. If I'm here and Mukhtar got a house full of side hat what they the cornbread looking as so-called dope dealers I've ever seen. They look like undercover agents. Khadijah in the kitchen, of course you can hear it. And she didn't punch me twice. Should I submit to, should I knock her out? Right? Think about it. Should you hold your, so remember, if you don't have self-control and solid, when they used to say, don't fire till you see the white of their eyes, that means don't fire till you ready. Right? Okay, now, strategic retreat. What is strategic retreat? Oh, y'all got all these guns? Y'all want to fight? Ah, not the brother. See you later. See you later. Oh, you come back again? Let me record. Oh, come on. Okay, now the white man is mad. I'll see you later. I'll see you later. Why? Because everywhere I go, somebody's telling me, hey man, I still do them 187s. People from the old days, 187, you know that? That's pop, pop, pop. Why are they telling me that? Well, who are they talking about? I can't go to the store. My son is with me. People drive up, great car. Hey man, we ready to take care of that. Like what? Ready to take care of Mukhtar. Everybody's ready to take care of Mukhtar. The government got to get him out of the way. That's why I left the last time. Khadijah called me, I'm in the hills running, talking so crazy. I said, somebody's close to getting their butt taken out. So I left because they ain't gonna do nothing and blame it on me. Now, the last thing I would say, we're going there now. Okay, they don't have any right on any property and we're gonna take care of all the legal stuff. Well, we're gonna lose, it don't make no difference, but we will. Remember, it said if you lose 90% of your stuff, you're still in the game. We lost 90% of the game? No. 15%, 20%, it's okay. But what they confiscated and what they changed, they did it so blatant that it's totally illegal. I can't lose. And if I lose, they'll get in court and they'll say, da-da-da-da-da. That's wonderful. Then I'll get them in court again and say, you said this, that, and other. Here's this, that. We can't lose. But the point is this. We have arranged over 85% of this stuff. That's my estimate. We have arranged it. We had to arrange it. I'll keep saying it over and over again. We had to show people that it's possible to challenge the system. Okay, now they know it's possible. But not only we have to show them it's possible, we have to show them how. You see what I mean? And we already, look, we already got the Nobel Peace Prize. Don't make a difference. We already got that covered. We've already done what we're talking about. We're 2 steps above anybody in America that I've ever run across, that I've ever read about. If you have read about it, bring me the book. I'd like to hear about anybody that has systematically sat and studied. Now, you see how old this stuff is. I have to be studying what I'm saying, or it wouldn't come out. When it come out, it'll come out because it's a policy. Strategic retreat. Khalid ibn Walid did it. That's why he was so bad. He'd break out and run. And you know, you can't see too far with all that dust. So he's running up here, got his men running up here. But when they get up there so far, they're fanning out around. And guess what? Pretty soon, the army that's chasing you is surrounded. Simple tactics. Encirclement and suppression. We have encircled the whole United States government. That sounds big. It's bigger than that. We've encircled the South Africans. Remember, people paying attention to South Africa coming, right? We've encircled the UK. Remember, they banned me from UK. Why? Because we encircled them behind. They didn't ban me from Canada. Why? Because we encircled them in Canada. You see what I mean? We have encircled. They don't ask me to go to Iran no more. Why? Because we coon they behind. Iranians just, they're good, they're real good at trade and stuff like that. But nobody knows the early 20th century or late 19th century Negro style of dealing with people. They don't know. In those days, when you wanted to get something from the white man, you had to be able to humiliate yourself. To make the white man the biggest game, make boss man feel good. You a good white man because you've given me and my family everything I need. Boss man, you're a good white man, boss. You gotta do it. I watched my father do it. They were good. That's what they had to do. I learned it from them. I watched everything they did. And they were old when I was young. But I liked history. I sit and listen. None of my other family wanted to hear that old crap. I got it on tape before my father passed away. Hours and hours of that old stuff. You know what I mean? Nobody knows how to use that. Not even nobody. There's nobody in the FBI know it. There's nobody, maybe if it was somebody from back in the 20s, or 30s, or maybe the 40s, they would understand it. They'd have to be from the deep south, though, because northern niggas didn't have to do that. It's the deep southern Negroes that did it. And nobody's aware of it. It works all the time. Now, we're going to have our work cut out for us a little bit on this one. But it ain't going to be hard work. We're already winning. Already. You know, the battle has been started a long time ago. We finished that one. A year and a half or two. That's finished. We didn't want that. If they get out of line when I come to Oakland, I said, okay. Okay. Then I'm gonna work on something for a while, and we'll see. No violence, no nothing, not me violence. But I'm going to put them on the spot until clarification comes. But what I said about those Negroes, they're not very bright. During this stage, the liberation forces will torture and get information from the functionaries, but they're going up the line. See, the ones sitting up there comfortable, you ever hear of them there? The bankers, when they steal all your money, do they go hide? No, they go right to the beach. Right, they fly in the helicopter. But the people during this stage, when you come flying your helicopter over, they're going to have the money to buy them rifle grenades, they're going to pop your butt out of the air. And you're sitting up there, the head of the state senate in California, Arizona, or Mississippi, and the people are going to hit the authorities. That's when you know the rebellion is real. Any bombings or shooting from now on is all government sponsored, so they get more rights against the people. So now the government is going back to original constitutionalism. I'll talk about this, the last program will be Sunday. We'll scratch over some of this. Tomorrow's Juma, right? But we're going to take all of what we have and we're going to duplicate, we're going to pass out CDs and DVDs during 2018 and 2019. So we're getting ready for 2020 vision. Remember, by 2020, let me just go over this again. This won't take 1 minute here. I'll try to be brief, but be patient. We've been fighting a long time. Yeah, targets high up in the chain as possible. Comprehensive media manipulation. That means the media has had a free run too. When the media comes out and lies to the public, and the people are going to give them a little bit of the business too. That's not me saying that, that's an analysis. Okay, now remember, my analysis is correct, but when the media starts getting popped for lying to the people and talking against the talk, and some of the women talk about what they're going to do this, that, and other. Well, they can do that as long as ain't nobody doing nothing to them. But from what I hear, things is changing right now. We're going into, this is more like the final stage. I do have to announce this part. We have passed our stage on Tazkiyah bil Nafs and all of that. That when we get a certain amount of power, we're not going to abuse it. And we passed that test. We arranged the test, our own test, and we passed it with the help of the enemy. Okay. But there's other things that are necessary in any revolution that's out of my, let's say, jurisdiction. And that is the threshold of physical violence. The threshold. Okay? So, what's the first thing that enemies of truth are going to do. They're going to try to divide you up and cause this trouble and that trouble. And you have to be able to take it for a long, long time and not respond. But at a certain time, there are certain people that handle certain types of jobs that the people have exceeded limits. Okay, he calls fitna one, that's okay. 5 times okay. But there will be unwritten limit. They passed the limit, okay. Now, just because they passed the limit, see, nobody will know who is doing what. That old stuff they try to put on people, wearing bomb vests, ain't nobody gonna do that stuff. Each movement develops according to the needs of its time. It always has. In the revolution, the institutions that was needed, the Minutemen and all that, developed out of their natural environment. Nobody came around and told them, you guys are gonna be Minutemen and you all gonna help the revolution because all Americans got weapons, right? It happened. It happened that Americans said, we can't meet them people face to face. As they said in, Mel Gibson said in Patriot, you can't meet the British muzzle to muzzle. You can't do it. So, the Americans started fighting them Indian style from behind trees and shooting all officers. So that's unfair. What are you talking about? Up the chain. Who gets away with everything? Up the chain. Who suffers? The common man. And remember, all the institutions, if you think I'm lying, just get a deck chair and find a nice cozy spot and sit there for a year or two and see if the brother is lying. Just go have a seat and watch. Every institution that's needed, the infiltration, you can't infiltrate something you don't know. Why? Because everybody's gonna watch. Everybody's gonna watch. Even the white folks know what's this. Leaderless resistance, but better. Leaderless resistance is as if people was listening to me now. They don't have to listen. The government can do anything that they want. They could lie and say I'm wrong and I'm not. That don't make no difference because we're going to get it out anyway. Because a simple team, 3 people in D.C., 3 people in California. We give out CDs for the next 2 years and DVDs. Is the message going to get out? Yes. It's a long message, but see, out of some of the people, even if we didn't give out the message, naturally, everything falls into place. And historically, look at American policy. Does it fall into place? I'm going to do this to you, North Korea, if you don't shut up. Shut up? What you want me to say? You just knocked this chip off my shoulder. Well, put a chip on both of them boys. Pop! And what do? Nothing. Because he can't. He's trapped. Donald Trump arguing with Kim L, not Kim L was his daddy, Kim Tucson was the granddaddy. What's this boy? Kim something.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un. Somebody. Right? For Donald Trump to argue with him, he's lost. Right?
Right.
He lost. He can't win. If I argue with Mukhtar, I would lose. He's a fool. Why would I argue with him? I'll see y'all later. I'm going to DC. Get yourself not a bulletproof vest, but a baseball bat protector. Because somebody gonna bust the fat off Khadijah's head and Mukhtar's head. And Abdul Malik has been ducking around. They talk that gangster talk. People have told me that when they see Mukhtar come, that boy jump sky high. Called me talking gangster talk. I said, hey man. I'll close with this. You remember how I talked to the police here? I've been talking to the police like that all my life. I talked to in front of Mukhtar in California. Do you think Mukhtar scares me? Y'all watching? Do you think Mukhtar is so tough? And Khadijah, do you think those are gangster-fied niggas that they scared me to death? Do you? They've never fought anybody. Khadijah picks on those yellow girls that Abdul Malik pointed to. She's the battering ram for Abdul Malik. Anybody? Yeah, she jumps on them stupid little girls that went to school. She ain't gonna jump on one of these girls around here and pull her hair and slap the urine out of that fat guy. Or one of the girls running up and down the street. She can't, you know, and Mukhtar, I have taken weapons training, but I won't use them unless necessary. I got the flyers for this thing. Hey man, if you want hilarity, that's what we got. I thank y'all for listening. I know we started at 5 o'clock and it must be about 9 or 8 now, right? But remember, we got a big job. We got to educate people. Now, is this true or not? Is there anybody else trying to educate the people in the United States? Okay, that means there's nobody. The other question is anybody got the courage to stand in front of these oppressors and tell them the truth? Okay. The last question, has anybody devised any plan to influence the direction of change in North America? Has anybody organized a national resistance movement, national liberation movement, As-Sabiqun liberation movement? Nobody talks like that and nobody thinks like that. So, I'm sorry, dear listeners and viewers, if we have to keep going another 3 or 4 hours, it's all right, but we're gonna give you a break now. The last thing, brothers in Iran, any Iranian seeing this and got any relatives there, out of the brothers that went back home, because the brothers is funny with visas and everything. A little difficult for me to get back the way they act, to contact all my friends. So I want y'all to contact as many of the brothers that you can. Get them to watch this video. Tell them that Imam abdul-Alim need their help. Just like he was with you from 1980 all the way on up. No salary, no nothing. Just tell me where you want me to go and what you want me to do. That's the way it was. That's the way it still would be. Those book readers and funny brothers, you know who they are. Careerists. they're trying to weaken the strength of the Islamic Republic of Iran, right at the time when Iran is one of the strongest countries in the world. And we want to continue to help it reach its full potential. That's why we're here. Islamic Resistance Movement of North America. Not only resistance, but alternatives with solutions to the problems. We need your help and support. And we need you brothers as a group to help straighten them bums out, because they're trying to sell out the Islamic Republic of Iran. They don't support Velayat al-Faqih. They support economy and having good relations with the U.S. Well, news flash, the U.S. don't like you. You're not going to be friends with them anyway. Be friends with your brother. I am the best friend you got. Look out for the brother, and I'll finish whipping the snot out of Sam for you. Yes, I will. And if I get enough, I'll whip him twice a week. I'll whip him in the phone booth. You think I'm lying? Study history and see. We done already slapped the urine out of the boy. Thank you very much. As-Salamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi.